Happy Sunday afternoon. I almost said Saturday. I think we all wish, but that's not the case. This is a special episode of Fandom Empire Live with, I guess, the two guys that kicked all this shit off to begin with. The two guys that had enough of BS that was going on in another place and decided we're going to go do our own thing a few years ago. And here we are today, dude. And it's pretty cool to sit down. And this was originally going to be for Tuesday, but I think we might have a lot to talk about Tuesday, so we figured we're going to squeeze it in today. Joining me on this, what I would call a major channel update. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're someone that's been here and supporting the channel all this time, or just watch us to hate us, then thank you for the watch time. I am not in Steelers colors. Don't do that. It's gray. It's clearly gray. And Tommy doesn't like my yellow. He was already criticizing me for my type of yellow. How's it going, man? What's going on, Tommy? This is exciting. Things are changing around here. It's been in the works for a very long time, and I feel like we're almost at the finish line to beginning a new era here. How's it going, dude?
Yeah, we always got something in the oven, something working up. Plotting for the future. I will clarify, it's not so much the yellow as the gray over top of it, and that's making me
orange poking through.
Yeah, it's making me a little uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at it and I'm just it hurts a little bit, but otherwise I'm hanging in there. It is Sunday, halfway through Sunday, getting ready for that big bad Monday, but that's all right. Now start to a new week.
5 a.m. comes early. It sucks. Actually before 5 a.m. But yeah. So we have a lot we're going to get into here today. We're going to tell you a little bit of our plans for Halloween kills, which have definitely shifted in the last 24 hours. I see we have some chat mods in here. I see I'm assuming it's Darren from the Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast, considering the comment. We have a bunch of you guys in here. Liam, Lee, Modern Scripts, Linton's in here, Memefex. Who else we got here? Master Undbach. Okay. 31 Hollows Death / Andy. Let's stat you go. I think I said that right. The Lost Relic, Solid Saturn, Mikey Bish, my beautiful fiance Jade, who was just down here threatening my life. No, I'm kidding. That didn't actually happen. Jay Beach is in the house. This is going to be a fun one. Although Star Raptor's in here. Well, that's cool because we're actually going to be talking about IPC very shortly. We got a lot to talk about today. We'll do Q&A if you guys want to continue to obsess about the Halloween kill stuff that's out there because it's been a crazy week. We can dive into that, but the Q&A is going to come in the end unless you send in a super chat before that and support the channel on that level. I just realized one thing I forgot to load. One moment here, Tommy. You and I talked about this at length, and I didn't actually. No, it's in there. Never mind, it's in there.
Oh,
yeah, it's in there.
That would be bad.
It's in there. Whoops, that was almost. By the way, if you haven't gone over and subscribed to the Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast yet with Frank and Darren, go and do that. They posted a short unboxing video yesterday, and I watched it last night, and I was fucking dying. Like, it was just, I wasn't expecting to laugh so hard, and I might have been vaping at the time, and so the lungs were a little bruised after that. So thank you, fellas, for that laugh. Intel Wild's in the house. One of our Michael Myers are in the house. Entertainment TV's in the house. Zach's in the house. Whew, I'm not going to be able to keep that up all show. So look, a lot of things are, Dean Renner, by the way, I'm going to do this to you, man. I'm sorry. I got to. By the way, happy belated birthday to our Dean Renner, who is obviously only 21 years old. What's going on, Dean? Bonne fête à toi. Is how we would say it in Quebec, but I'm not in Quebec, so I'm going to stick with happy birthday. Anyways, and I probably even butchered that. There's someone in the chat that probably knows their French, and they're like, yeah, you just fucked that up. Although I'm fairly certain I might not have. Anyways, there's a lot changing. When we moved over, I'm going to try to keep this intro part short. When we moved over from where we used to be, we wanted to be able to control the content that we put out, and that when we put plans into place, that we could actually deliver on those plans and not have somebody who puts very little effort into what's going on just say no. So that way, if something doesn't work out, it's on me, it's on Tommy. If it's the IPC guys, it's on them. If it's the Rick and Morty fan show, it's on Kieran. We all sort of control our own content without crossing a line. Look at the love for Dean right now. Happy birthday. Love it. Love it. Love the community. No matter how big or how small it is, you guys are the reason that we are here. So Fandom Cantina, I'm not talking about the shorts that get posted on our Patreon either. This is what it used to be. We used to be Fandom Cantina, not Fandom Empire. When we left where we used to be, this is what we started, Fandom Cantina. And it eventually evolved into what you see before you today, Fandom Empire. Which I think is just a better name altogether and more strongly represents what we do and what we believe in. So our lives are changing. Everybody's lives are changing in the world. If you've been off work because of the pandemic like I have, then you've probably had more freedom the last year or so. Don't get me wrong, I was happy for the time, but there's a lot of people that have had to work through this. And now I find myself navigating through work life, which is anything but just driving a bus anymore. I would love to elaborate more on that, but I would fear losing my job. There's family life. You know, I have a teenager and I have a very young child approaching 2 and a fiance, and Tommy's back in school and Kieran is super busy. And no, don't worry, we're not ending the channel. We don't intend to go anywhere anytime soon. But what is going to happen is some things are going to have to change at the channel. Tommy, I'm going to hand things over to you for a second. Maybe you can elaborate more on why things are changing. I think mostly it's due to schedules. But yet, because of this, we almost have an ability to deliver more, but in a different way. Go ahead, Tommy.
Totally. So basically,
I'm actually going to run out of the room, so take it for a second.
Yep, I get you. So what we got going on lately, folks, is I don't know, for what, the upteenth of months now, we've been doing live stream after live stream after live stream. This little single Halloween Kills image drops of maybe this weird looking knife thing. So we're going to go do a live stream about it. All right. Well, the thing is, that's becoming a very unsustainable way of operating the channel, both for Sean, for myself, for family members, for other staff members, so on and so forth. So, and this is where we're getting into the developments of the channel over the past few months. We've really been just taking a whole inventory of, what are we putting out that's getting consumed? What are folks enjoying? What's getting, thumbs up? The thumbs up, the thumbs up. By the way, if you haven't thumbed up this video yet, please thumb it up. It helps the channel, helps the video, so on and so forth, all that good shit. Yeah, and honestly, as odd as it is, pre-produced content is just, a mainstay in any YouTube channel. So in the past, before we started doing live stream after live stream after live stream, we were doing more pre-produced content. So we're gradually going to start making our way back to doing a little more of that. In the past, I wasn't a huge part of the pre-produced side of things. I am going to be there alongside Sean a little more, schedules permitting, of course, for when we decide to record. But this should not be misunderstood as, oh no, live streams are stopping, because by no means we are going to stop live streams. Fandom Empire Live, it's the main event. We actually had a soundbite of that at one point. I don't know if it's still on the soundboard or not.
The main event of the evening. No,
that's gonna completely remain. We're gonna keep doing it. Once a week, Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. And yeah, I don't know. Did you catch anything what I've said so far? Or
no, I haven't even been in the studio, so I caught nothing.
Okay, well then. But as for other live streams,
sounds like you've been just talking about live streams.
Live streams, pre-produced content, this and that. A few things I touched on.
We'll get into specifics shortly, but I want to take a second here and thank everybody who tunes in. It doesn't matter if you've spent hundreds or thousands or nothing on the channel. You take your time each and every day, and not every day, but like every time you choose to tune into us, it's appreciated. And to everybody else on the staff too, Kieran and Mike Bish and Jade and Johnny and Matt Whitfield, and there's Toronto Freddy and Frank Riker and Dean with Halloween Fandom and Happy 50. There's no way Dean is 50. I'm not buying that.
Oof.
I'm not even sure Dean's as old as I am. I don't know. I have no idea what Dean's age is. We could play a guessing game with that. Everybody guess Dean's age. Look, no, seriously, the content has been wonderful to do. We had both Tommy and I were both employed by similar companies that allowed us a lot of freedom during the day to be able to go through what to do our shows on. That freedom for both of us is basically gone, which makes things a little more difficult. And again, there's other people on the channel, whether they're chat mods or people that appear on the channel, where their schedules have, become more complicated. And as part of that, the other part of this is this. I'm just going to be real blunt about this. And I don't know how to not sound like a money-hungry prick while saying this.
Douchebag.
But look, at the end of the day, this used to be a hobby for Tommy and I a long time ago. Still is to an extent. But this is a business, too. It's a very small business that we do. Because if we're going to take time away from our families, specifically me, with the amount of work that I have to put into it, then there's got to be some level of compensation. I'm sorry, but when you have young children, that's just how the world fucking works. And the super chats have not been where they used to be, and that's completely okay, because to be quite frank, if anybody's going to put any money into this channel, go do it on Patreon, even if it's $2, because YouTube and Google consistently keep bending people over even more and more. What they take from you now as a content creator is way more than what they used to take from you before, and it was already too high to begin with. So we've been take all the money. Thanks, Dean. It's appreciated. Look, we understand that not everybody can support us financially. And that's fine. The amount of joy, though, that I get out of seeing all of you on social media interact with people, maybe you're at a convention or whatever, or you drop a Fandom Empire hint, or a shout out or whatever. Movie Web the other day shouted us out. They actually covered our coverage and sourced us, which was nice to get some recognition, because to be honest, we've been on here fucking breaking shit way earlier than a lot of people have been. And our track record's pretty fucking good. We get some things wrong. It happens. It's nice to get some recognition, but honestly, nothing means more to me than people just getting some level of enjoyment out of the channel. Yesterday, I think it was last night, I seen it. I'm sure some of you guys have him on Facebook. I saw Byron Weaver at a convention. He'd posted photos. There was him, Christopher Nelson, James Jude Courtney, Nick Castle, Daniel Harris, and he just looked to be having the time of his life. And even though I wish we could spend all the time in the world just trying to make people happy, that's part of it. It's just not how it works, sadly. But to know that he went to that convention and had a blast and then took the time to message me about it afterwards, that means the world. That's fantastic. The world's a pretty shit place right now, if anybody hasn't noticed. Doesn't really matter where you live. It's just kind of dog shit and has been for a while. So if we can provide just a little bit of escapism for people, then it makes it worth it, in my opinion. That said, Tommy, I think we need to get into some specifics as to what's happening. That way we can get to Q&A and answer everybody's questions and whatever anybody wants to do.
Sure. So before we jump back in and review everything, I'll just recap you with what I was talking about. Basically, I hopped in and mentioned, well, live streams for quite a while now, they were the hallmark of what we were doing. Ooh, this new Kills image drop. Michael Myers holding this maybe looking knife thing. Gotta go do a live stream about it. Well, it's really not what we're going to be doing anymore. Time constraints, and in the past, it's not just what we get the most hits on. So we have to kind of reprioritize what we're putting out there for folks. What are they actually consuming? What are they enjoying?
I want to stress that Fandom Empire Live is going nowhere. Fandom Empire Live to us and the people at the channel is the main program on the channel. And I get it, you can go watch guys that take it far more serious and far more professional than we do. Fandom Empire Live is about delivering, some movie news or talk about movie topics or do top 10 lists while having a good time with all of you. Oh, I totally agree. KJ says, don't take this as a negative comment. Sometimes less equals more. It's not only that. There are people on Patreon. We have almost 40 patrons. And some of them spend a lot of money over there. And there's even people that aren't patrons anymore that have literally spent hundreds of dollars on the channel. Some more. And we do feel the need that when you have people financially backing this channel, that those people do need to come first. I don't think any of us is in the 1 percentile. I don't, regardless of who is donated to the channel. But we have said for a long time now, we're going to begin to focus more of our content over on Patreon. But Fandom Empire Live, Tuesdays at 9 p.m. And let's dive into some of that stuff, Tommy. We'll go over show by show. Better to have quality than quantity. Always, Liam. Always. But you're still going to get a decent bit from us, and we're going to show you some of the changes that have come here. Again, though, you can subscribe to our Patreon for as little as $2 a month. There you see it at the bottom. There's several different tiers. It's as little as $2 and as much as $27. Now, this whole show is not going to be an ad to go over to Patreon. Look, you either have interest in supporting the channel and some of the extra content we have coming over there that we've been working on for a long time, or you don't, and that's okay, because Fandom Empire Live is not going anywhere. And let's move on to that. So Fandom Empire Live is staying Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, but as Tommy said, less pop-up streams. So, you know, if a new image from Halloween Ends comes out, we're probably not going to do, you know, a stream on it. We might do a little 3 to 5 minute video, because I still do have time during the days to edit videos. I think going forward, one of the most important things is we want to do more pre-produced content, and we're hoping to do minimum 1 video a week going forward of pre-produced content. And in some of that pre-produced content, some of you like him, some of you don't. You'll probably see a little more of this guy pop up occasionally. So for some of you, you might be thrilled about that, and for others, they might not be so thrilled. But yeah, Fandom Empire Live is going nowhere. Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern. Now, if something like, I'm not saying this is happening, so please don't quote me. Don't go and say Fandom Empire said, because we're not saying this. But if all of a sudden Universal announces a Halloween 3 reboot series straight to Peacock, yeah, we're going to find time to do a live stream on that. But if something drops like, oh, Michael Myers is missing another finger or something in Halloween Ends, or he changed his boots, or, oh, Laurie Strode cut her hair, which I fully expect for Halloween Kills at some point, or Halloween Ends. It does sort of look like she has shorter hair. I've seen some people point that out, but it's like, did they cut off some of her hair in the hospital? None of that is in the script, by the way. And this is very non-spoiler stuff, but someone sent me an image, and Tommy, you and I haven't even had a chance to talk about this, but someone sent me an image from one of the recent spots, and I think her hair is just tucked behind a little bit, because in the other ones, it clearly is hanging down in front. But they're like, well, did she get a haircut while in the hospital? No, I think simply her hair moved. So we're not going to be doing live streams on that. It's been fun. Don't get me wrong, coming on as often as we have. That stuff's been great. But yeah, no, we're going to be very selective about when we do a pop-up live stream. And speaking of those, this show, The Wastelands, which has never had a set schedule and never will, it's a Johnny and I show, will still stick around, but it's not going to be on a set schedule. The IPC guys will continue to do their thing every other Friday night, talking, you know, whatever fandom topic they're talking about on that night. So those two things are going nowhere. The other thing, though, is Fandom Empire Now, which is a show that's a little more serious than Fandom Empire Live. Mike and I take pride in what we do over there. But after Halloween Kills comes out, Fandom Empire Now will move back to every other week. Less is more, kind of like the chat was saying. Fandom Empire Now with Mike and I will be every other week, at least until spring 2022, when the movie season hits up. And I think what we're going to do over there after Fandom Empire Live, after Fandom Empire Now is done with its weekly run, is every other week you're probably going to see Mike and I either do a watch along to a movie or just review an old movie. And I think that's where that content is going to, or even a new movie. It's going to focus more on review like subjects than it is, you know, countdown lists and whatever. That'll be what Fandom Empire Live is for every once in a while. And you'll even see some countdown lists of pre-produced content. We're not trying to get rid of Mike. Trust me, Mike is such an important part of this channel moving forward. I love what he brings to the channel, but his life's getting busier too. So, although we do have some Halloween Kill stuff to talk about at the end of this, and Mike's going to be involved in that, so that's exciting. The Rick and Morty fan show is still to be determined. Kieran's not sure on his schedule at this point, but it may scale back to every other week until a new season. So I know the two things that Kieran is considering right now with the Rick and Morty fan show is doing what Zach and I are going to do with a bunch of other people on the channel with our Game of Thrones show, and maybe do it just seasonally. You know, a new season comes out, you preview it, and then you follow along during the season, and then after the season, you do a few episodes, and then the show disappears for a while. I don't think Kieran's going to go that way. I think he's leaning more towards every other week, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so there'll be a little less of the Rick and Morty fan show. However, Kieran also has Kieran Presents over on the Patreon. So I would suspect you might see more Rick and Morty content over there, but ultimately Kieran chooses what happens with that. We're going to shift focus now a little bit to Patreon, guys. You can sign up at the link that I'm going to post below here. It's patreon.com/Fandom Empire. You can sign up for as little as $2 a month or as much as $27. But the biggest thing we have on Patreon, and it goes tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, which is I'm really excited for, is you have the Lampkin Lane show. 1 to 2 times a month. And what we're going to be covering on Lampkin Lane going forward is the Halloween Kills Fallout, the Halloween Kills 4K release, Halloween Ends, obviously. But we're going to start to do some other things over there, like Halloween trivia, which we know Tommy can't wait for.
Only my favorite, of course.
And Halloween watch-alongs. It doesn't mean we're not going to do Halloween watch-alongs on the main YouTube channel, but when we do a Halloween watch-along over on Patreon, I think we're actually going to bring people into the stream and have big group discussions here on StreamYards. So we're definitely looking forward to that. And then later tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we do have a Lampkin Lane episode that we're looking forward to. If you're signed up, be on the lookout for that tonight. If you're not, maybe consider signing up. There it is right there. Lampkin Lane, Halloween Kills, What Has Changed? So we're going to tackle this topic without getting too spoilery tonight, which is a challenge. Tommy and I have already talked about a few things. But if you haven't signed up yet, hopefully you consider signing up. It's definitely our main show that we have over on Patreon. I feel like most of the Patrons would tell you that it's worth it. If you ever doubt if we have any of our information right, I think this channel or this particular show over on Patreon lets you know that, and we can definitely be a little more free with what we talk about over there. And by the way, shout out to the members of our Patreon, because it'd be really easy for those that have watched Lampkin Lane for the last year almost to be like, well, fuck those guys. I'm going to take what information that they give out and post it all over Twitter and Facebook and fucking MySpace and MySpace. And they don't do that. You guys don't do that. You keep it in-house, and that is incredible. I don't know if that is actually that is definitely not.
Yep. He's gone. Don't worry.
Yeah, get
Move along.
Oh man. Yeah, I wow.
So how you all doing out there today? How's the weather?
How's everybody doing?
Yeah.
Anyways, though, Lampkin Lane 1 to 2 times a month, and we got good shit going on over there. So consider signing up. Again, the link is posted below. It's patreon.com/Fandom Empire. Join today, because that is the way. However, some of the other stuff we got coming on, and this is a brand new show that Tommy and I talked about. How do I put it? We watched a news story drop from Sony this week, the gaming side of Sony, that we had several months ago. And we didn't exactly blast it all over our YouTube channel. We could have and didn't. Which is perfectly legal, by the way. But we didn't, and it was the Knights of the Old Republic stuff. And we have other examples of things that we're lucky enough to know a few people who are generous with stuff like that. Thanks, Tommy, says Brandon. Did we get rid of Mr. Wayne?
We had another one, but yeah, they're gone too.
Mr. Wayne.
Anyway, we could just highlight this real quick.
Yep.
It was asked in the chat, can you watch, Lampkin Lane or other Patreon content, after the fact, after it airs, if it's alive? Yeah, and yes, the answer is yes, you will be able to access.
Who asked that? Can I ask? Oh, hey, Brandon. Hey, Brandon asked that. So the one thing I will admit that's not very good on the Patreon is finding the content after it's been posted. We're going to do a better job of organizing things over there. To be honest, I'm not too sure on a good way to manage it over there, but I know in terms of like categorizing things. But if you look in the Patreon news feed and you just scroll down, you can watch all the old content. So if you ever doubted we said something was going to happen that did happen, just go watch a bunch of old streams. So yeah, no, there's that too. But but we wanted a show where we could be a little more spoilery, dive into the scoop game a little bit more, and yet not post it all over YouTube and be one of those people that ruins things for people that didn't ask for it. For example, Dean, I'm going to use you as an example here, buddy. Dean doesn't want to hear Halloween Kills spoilers. There's other people in our Lampkin Lane that doesn't want to hear Halloween Kills spoilers or any Halloween spoilers altogether. So if we do get spoilers, we usually put up some sort of warning and we let people know ahead of time. And even then, we could have spoiled so much and we just didn't. And so for those that don't want to know, the inside stuff, not that we always have it right, hence why it's called the following Inside Fandom. It's a Patreon show, rumors, reports, and scoops. You see 5 icons there: Spider-Man, Scream, Michael Myers, Darth Revan, and Batman twice a month. The plan is to do this show every other week. There will not be a set time frame on it, though, guys, so it might be hard to get in on a live stream. We'll try to give those that are Patreon members a heads up on this. And this show will be available to anyone who's at the $5 tier or above. So if you subscribe to the Fandom Empire Patreon, you get Inside Fandom every other week at the $5 tier or above with Tommy and myself. And I think Mike Bish might be there sometimes, and Kieran, et cetera, et cetera. Jason Leonard says, once Halloween Kills is released, could you tell us what has changed from the script? We're going to tell you some of that stuff tonight on Lampkin Lane. Oh my God, answer the phone. Bloody fucking hell. Sorry. Apologies. Someone's trying to get a hold of Jade. Her freaking tablet's beside me. It just keeps going off. So yeah, Inside Fandom. It will begin airing in the month of October. Not before October. It will begin airing in the month of October. We have that coming. And then this one is not a Patreon show, so we're going to leave Patreon for a bit. And I don't know if Zach Arnold's still in the chat. I seen him there earlier. House of the Empire, our Game of Thrones show, a seasonal Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon show just for YouTube. So what's going to happen is season 1, which will start sometime in November, we are going to talk about Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 8 and also preview House of the Dragon. Likely a 10-episode season. We will then depart and not come back until House of the Dragon is out, and we will be covering that much in the way that Kieran covers the Rick and Morty stuff, but with House of the Dragon. So looking forward to that. Zach and I have worked on Game of Thrones projects in the past on other networks, and we're thrilled for that. I love Game of Thrones. I absolutely love Game of Thrones. I'm rewatching it as we speak for the first time since the final season aired. I'm on season 3 again. It's such a play. I don't think there's ever been a TV show that has such in-depth storytelling and rewatchability as Game of Thrones. That doesn't mean it's my favorite show. We're going to talk about my favorite show in a second. But House of the Empire airs in November, not Patreon, just on the YouTube channel, and we'll try to come up with a set schedule for it. Stay tuned for that one. But back to Patreon. Tommy, you and I have talked about this for a long fucking time.
Oh my God, this fucking thing. Oh.
And then, and this is available to all tiers, by the way. So even if you sign up for the minimum tier, $2 a month, you will get Supernatural Revisited. Tommy and I are going to walk through the entire Supernatural series. I'm sure Johnny might join us at times. Kieran might join us at times. Maybe Toronto Freddy will join us at times if he has the time. But what it means is twice a month, we're going to do 2 episodes. The hope is in every episode of this, there will be 2 episodes of Supernatural. Hell, there may even be 3. It just depends on how much time Tommy and I have to watch episodes. But twice a month, no set schedule. Likely won't be live streams unless until we get to like season finales and stuff. But it'll be on Patreon with access to all you guys. We're thrilled for this because we know there's a portion of our audience that loves Supernatural, just like there's a portion of our audience that likes wrestling and a portion of our audience that likes Game of Thrones. But I think there's way more Supernatural fans in our audience than we first thought. And let me tell you, it's a relief to finally sort of get the monkey off of our backs and finally be doing this. Tommy, any thoughts on something that's been planned out for well over a year now?
You know, it's a project that's been a year. That's being kinder to ourselves than
it's trying to save face, man.
Well, you might as well be transparent. This project, it goes back quite a bit. We've been looking at it, and we've been tinkering around with what form we wanted to take. At one point, it was like maybe do this like a podcast, maybe do this like live streams only. It's just nice because after some recent interest was expressed in supernatural content, it was kind of the kick in the ass Sean and I needed to say, well, you know what, we have to get to work, right? So.
Yeah, and there will be the odd Supernatural Revisited episode that pops up on the YouTube channel to let you guys see if it's worth paying the $2 a month for. But again, I understand some of this stuff is behind a paywall. Lambkin Lane has always been behind a paywall and will always be behind a paywall. Inside Fandom hasn't aired yet, but for obvious reasons, it's going to be behind a paywall. And the Supernatural Revisited, though, we really when we get to do live streams with it, we want to be hands-on, and Tommy and I also might be watching these episodes as we're recording them. So if we need to pause an episode, it doesn't look very good on a live stream. So you have that coming. And if you sign up for the more expensive tiers, you get into giveaways and merch and shit like that. Tiers like Fandom Maniacs, tiers like Fandom Addicts, which have a tremendous amount of support over on Patreon. That said, I know some of you are probably already sick of us talking about Patreon, but Patreon is literally the reason we are able to go live as often as we do. If it wasn't for those people over on Patreon, we would be live once a week. There would probably be no Rick and Morty fan show. There would probably be no IPC on the channel. It would probably just be Fandom Empire live once a week. Those people, whether they're still Patreons or whether they're past Patreons, have been extremely generous and believe in what we're doing. And we hope, even if it's on the lower tiers, we bring in more people and continue to grow over there. But we're not abandoning YouTube. We're still here with YouTube. We're not going anywhere. We can focus a little bit more on higher quality content, such as transitions and screenshots and videos inserted into it. But in order to do all that, you need time to prepare. I know there's, for a fact, there's people out there over the last year, maybe 2 years, that have started their own YouTube channel that are realizing, if you want to deliver high quality content, it takes time to prepare, and time is hard to come by at times. How soon until the Halloween End script already release? Well, in the news of Bad News Barrett, or in the oh my God, I've totally lost myself here, and I haven't even been smoking today. Yeah, that ship has sailed already, sir. That ship has sailed. Dean Rogers says, yeah, it's great. You can mute for a second and wait for the conversation to shift away from any spoilers and then come back when the convo shifts. He's referring to Lambkin Lane. Absolutely. Again, we're going to have so much fun over there tonight, and Lambkin Lane tonight, like that's going to be fun to get into. That's going to be fun because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to fucking try to sell you on something that isn't. That's just not us. There is not a shit ton that has changed with this movie. The stuff that we've been saying about this movie for 2 years now is basically the movie. However, the few changes they have made are very, very significant, is what I would say. Do you think that's fair to say, Tommy? I think they're very significant.
Yeah, definitely.
So, again, we'll be talking about that over on Lambkin Lane tonight. To recap, Phantom Empire Live, staying on Tuesday nights, every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Phantom Empire now, after Halloween Kills comes out, we'll move to every other week. The Rick and Morty fan show is still to be determined. Pre-produced videos. We've really been screwing around with some editing software. I think you've seen it in the Terrence videos. You're going to see higher quality pre-produced videos from us. And they might be short. They might be 4 minutes long, 5 minutes long, 10 minutes long, but hopefully you check those out. Lambkin Lane's going nowhere. It's over on Patreon, as is Inside Fandom. Lambkin Lane is a $13 tier. Inside Fandom's the $5 tier. Supernatural Revisited is all tiers. House of the Empire debuts in November. I believe the IPC podcast is returning this Friday. Kieran Presents is once a month over on Patreon as well. We can't forget our IPC, which Zach usually puts out an episode a month unless he gets too busy for it. Just so much shit going on over there. Consider supporting us over there, and if not, then enjoy when we are on YouTube, because we enjoy when each and every one of you come out and just click the like button, the thumbs up button, and support what we're doing here. It is appreciated. All right, Tommy, last thoughts on these changes. Q&A time, everybody. Get your questions in now. We'll do Q&A for about 20 minutes anything you guys want to talk about within reason, the floor is yours. Get those questions in now. It can be on the channel. It can be ideas on things you want to see. Oh, by the way, we're going to continue to do wrestling content. That stuff's going nowhere. And some of the other projects we're going to be focusing on, I got to add this in because I didn't do a graphic for it. Some of the other projects we're going to be focusing on moving forward, you saw at the bottom of this video's thumbnail, things like Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, The Batman, Star Wars, and Knights of the Old Republic, Scream, Rick and Morty, wrestling, Supernatural Revisited, Game of Thrones, and horror in general. We're going to cover a lot of horror next year that we wouldn't normally get into, but we'll see how it goes. Get the questions in. Anything you guys want to talk about, the floor is yours for 20 to 25 minutes. If you want to support the channel, send in a super chat. That's always encouraged. But the number one way you can support the channel is by joining the Patreon, which you can do at the link below us. Tommy, last thoughts on this shift in programming?
We've got a great community over here. It's been really ramping up over the past, over the past year, maybe more. This channel has been great to us. We're not going anywhere. I see what we are doing now moving forward as nothing more than improving the quality of content we have. It's in some ways, it's our way of saying thank you to the audience for pushing us forward and making it possible. But it's also our just way of moving on up there. Trying to do the best we can, be the best fandom community we can for all the folks out there.
Lee Bauer says every Terrence video title is going to be called "It's a Piece of Shit,"
and it is.
Go with that. We should go with that. Funny enough, before we went live today, we're in like a little pre-show meeting, and Tommy's wife walks into the room, and basically she showed him something on TikTok that popped up. She doesn't really use her TikTok. And sure enough, what pops up on TikTok? That fucking Terrence guy. That's what pops up on TikTok. So he does have a TikTok out there. I'm not sure what it is. If Kieran's around, he can post it. I don't think he is at the moment, though. Are there changes made to kills, positive or negative? Since in a live watch from April or May, you mentioned the ending shot in the script is kind of eh. I would say that most of the changes are positive. One is extremely positive. But there's definitely a significant negative one that we'll talk about tonight. And we can talk about rather openly, considering it's not in the movie anymore. So, yeah, we're going to talk about that tonight. Lampkin Lane, feel free, Liam, if you want to sign up over there. But yeah, mostly positive, but there is a negative. And I think if people read the script, the people that did read the script are probably going to be a little disappointed that this one particular thing was taken out. I know Tommy sounded a little disappointed that it was taken out. Is Patreon for free? No, sir.
Just commented that. Yep.
Yeah, Patreon is not for free. Patreon is what supports the channel and allows us to come on here and do what we do as often as we do it. And you can sign up at the link that Tommy is going to post in a second if you can. Patreon
right above. It's already there.
Right there.
Yep.
Even have the merch store there too.
Yep.
But patreon.com/Fandom Empire. If you're just signing up on the $2 tier, the only show you get access to will be Supernatural Revisited, and then your name will be posted in a new credits thing that we are currently working on. The $3 tier is basically the same thing. You get a little extra in that. The $5 tier will now give you Inside Fandom and the Fandom Cantina. And Lampkin Lane is the $13 tier, which is a premium tier, and everything continues to go up from there.
You gotta make a graphic of that. That's got to go on the to-do list.
For sure, a graphic of everything that's on there. We're not really going to be changing things from that point on anyways, so I think we can finally stamp those on a graphic and do it. Again, there's only so much time on a day, though. Or in a day, pardon me. Here we go. Solid Saturn with Halloween Kills going to Peacock. How much do you think Kills will make at the box office?
$5.
Wow, there's $1 million question.
$5.
$5, huh? Nobody. Half a person's going to go see it. Half a person. So I would say they would be extremely lucky to clear 40 million opening weekend at this point, domestically. I do not think they'll make $40 million opening weekend domestically. I don't. I think it'll be more than Candyman, but significantly less than Shang-Chi. If I had to guess, I'm going to say 33. I think it'll make $33 million opening weekend. It's hard to tell, though, right? Because everybody has different restrictions. Like up here in Canada, it's 50% capacity. I don't know what it is in the States for you guys. I don't think it's full capacity yet, or maybe it is. I don't know. Sporting venues are for you guys. Either way, the Peacock thing hurts. It hurts for several reasons. The main two, though, are people can now watch it at home. It hurts the box office, to be clear. Those that never intended to go risk, their health at a movie theater, then I couldn't be happier for any of you. It's great for you guys. But in terms of box office, it hurts. It's not going to be, a banger at the box office. It was already in trouble before, and I think it's in more trouble now. So yeah, 33 is my guess, and that's based on absolutely nothing really other than what's going on. I could be way off. It could be significantly less. It could be significantly more, but I highly doubt it. Tommy, how about you, man? You got a guess at that?
I have no fucking idea.
$5? Half a
$5 fucking dollars, right? I'm not good with this shit to begin with. All these box office numbers, and with the ongoing pandemic that just won't fucking go away. Things keep getting more complicated. You got the movie theater capacities. Although I will say I haven't heard about those in a very long time. I feel like down here, places that are open are probably open full capacity.
I'll be honest. I think I'm kind of being generous at 33. You got to remember, people are going to be able to watch this on Peacock.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, like,
it's going to get pirated. It's going to end up, all over.
Thursday by 11 o'clock at night. There's going to be, not Thursday. Friday at 11 o'clock at night, maybe even earlier. It's going to be all over the place, man.
And again,
you won't have to go to like Reddit or this other place in this subforum and beg this person for this or that, or find out someone who has information on a movie and beg them for leaks because you're too fucking ignorant to come up with your own fucking shit. Yeah, that was a bit of a shot at someone. But anyways, it's going to be everywhere. You're going to be able to Google Halloween kills, and it's going to be everywhere. Please don't, though. Support the movie. Not saying you have to support it on Peacock, but try to support the movie. And yeah, Halloween Ends basically is safe at this point, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to be safe from studio meddling. Studios meddle all the fucking time. That should be common knowledge to everybody. Hang on. I want to get to somebody in the chat here. I'm not going to address this. What's going on, Preston? What's good, fellas? Hope everyone's well. Watching games this afternoon. Preston, all I'm going to say, man, is you know what I'm talking about here. You should anyways, and I can't say it on air because I don't have permission to do it, but I'll simply say that I found out yesterday about him. I spoke with him, and I'm glad that, he's doing good. I hope that you're good too, and definitely thoughts are with you guys right now. ECW. Long gone. Fly, Eagles, fly, says Mike. I'm guessing the Eagles just won. Fandom Empire, you mentioned a while back that the theater in your area listed a different runtime for Halloween Kills. Is a longer runtime or shorter runtime than 105? I believe the actual runtime is 106 right now. But there is a movie theater up here that was listing show times at, I believe it was 112. So
wouldn't that be nice?
One could be with credits and one could be without credits.
Yeah, it could be.
Wrong run times get posted all the time. Is a new Friday the 13th in pre-production since the court case is settled? Well, I don't know if the court case is settled. That was the rumor. But I've heard nothing on Friday the 13th in a bit. I'm going to quickly check. Although I'll tell you what, if you check in with 3C Films, Chris over there, he had some stuff on that, and maybe shoot him a message on Twitter. He's far better connected on that stuff than we are, but I would say I hope so eventually, but I don't think that time's yet. I think it's coming sooner than people think, but yeah. Oh, by the way, there's not a Nightmare on Elm Street movie that's going direct to streaming that doesn't cast anybody, and it's going direct to streaming just because a bunch of Karens don't want their kids seeing violence. Yeah, that's apparently a thing that's going around. Completely false.
I think I've heard it.
Yeah, completely false. Tommy right there with the Patreon update. Go for about 10, 15 more minutes, guys. James Leonard, if I join Lampkin Lane, I watch the content at any time. And yeah, man, absolutely. You can watch the content. I guarantee you, if you were to sign up right now at the link that Tommy posted, we will be live at 9:30 Eastern tonight. But if you're up at 6 in the morning or you're on your lunch tomorrow at 11:30, it will still be the first thing posted on the news feed, and you'll be able to go. Obviously, you can leave comments still, but you won't be able to interact live with us. You'd just be watching the live stream. We do a lot of interacting on there when we do the Lampkin Lane show with the people that are a part of the live stream. So absolutely. And you can sign up again at patreon.com/Fandom Empire. Hopefully you choose to support us over there and that it fits your needs. No capacity limits in Preston's area. That is a bit unfortunate. Solid says full capacity. Texas is full capacity. This is interesting, yeah, because Canada, I was telling Tommy yesterday, so if there's 12 seats in a row and a group of you buy 6 of them, you have that whole row. That's your row. Nobody else can go in that row. How you choose to sit is up to you guys, but they're basically selling half the amount of seats per row here. I keep wanting to say roll. That one's to Dean. Liam makes a good point. Go to a theater and watch it and go home and watch it on Peacock. Well, I'm sure that's what they're hoping people do. For sure. But yeah. Apologies. The chat just lagged on me, guys. Give me a second. I'm going to go back and see what I can find here. Do not support bootlegs. 110%. I'm simply saying, though, that they're going to be everywhere and there's going to be nothing anybody can do to stop it.
Don't need to support bootlegs.
What do you expect the best movie of 2021 to be? Well, I'm going to say something very controversial here because it's not really a movie, but it was presented as one. I think the most impactful movie of 2021 is Bo Burnham's Inside, and I don't think it'll be beat. That's just how I feel. I don't think any movie has gotten the media attention that it got and that he did with his comedy special, if you will, but it really gets presented like a movie.
Are you sure it's the media attention or is it the you attention?
Oh, it gets plenty of me attention. I mean,
after I fucking told you about it like 2 or 3 months prior, and then you finally checked it out.
Bo Burnham's Inside is like if I'm in a shit mood, which is probably more often than I'd like, I come down here and I listen to Bo Burnham like a lot. That I'm not a big fan of Bo Burnham stuff before Inside, but Inside is just wonderful. So yeah, I don't think Halloween Kills will make the impact that did for me. I don't think Spider-Man will. If Spider-Man comes out this year, I think that's still a massive if. In fact, I don't expect it to, but I have no inside knowledge on that one. So I do have some inside knowledge on Scream, though, and we'll talk about that at a later date. Countries outside of the U.S. don't even have Peacock, which lessens the chances of a lot of fans signing up for it. You're absolutely right. I think it is only in America. I'm curious to see how that's going to be handled. If now Canada has to follow a 17-day window, if the UK follows a 17-day window, or if Halloween Kills will be available on premium video on demand day of in those countries. If I'm them, I see they're kind of screwed if they do and they don't. They probably want premium video on demand right away, because if not, they're going to go and bootleg everything. Just the way it works. Not me. I mean, we're going. We're going to see it multiple times. So hopefully one in an IMAX theater. Dean Renner, yes, the court case was settled around a month ago. I've not heard. I've heard that they were getting close to a settlement, but 150 million with streaming or 200 million without streaming. I think that they're going to be really hard pressed to get to 150 million worldwide with what has happened. I hope it happens, but not likely. What about you? Oh, yeah, you don't like the box office thing. Sorry, Tommy.
I don't think it's gonna fucking happen.
I think it'll cross 100 worldwide. I think that's a given, but 150 is really pushing.
Oh, that's not quite what I meant. I'm talking folks saying, well, can't they just not do Peacock? Can't No.
That ship has sailed.
That ship has fucking sailed. Yep. That's become like the focus of their marketing.
That it is the focus of their marketing. I know there's some people trying to spin it as it's not, but if you go read every fucking press release and every news report, it literally has Peacock before mentioning movie theaters.
Even though the first fucking image you see when they updated it that they're going to be putting on Peacock, it looks like it was fucking photoshopped. But
yeah, oh for sure,
for fucking sure, yeah.
All I know about that is it. I didn't know the Peacock thing at all. You know, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I had the inside scoop on Peacock. Peacock, I think people could draw a natural conclusion to just because, well, it's a Universal property and they're pushing their streaming. NBC Universal's pushing their streaming service. It's not a very good one, as we know. Maybe it'll make a little bit of an impact, but it's not. It's not like they're like, okay, here comes the next Avengers movie only on Peacock. You know, it's or the Batman only on Peacock. It's nothing like that. Halloween is not that level. It is what it is.
Look, my wife and I, we were looking for something to watch yesterday evening, scrolling around. We opened Peacock because, again, we get it free, and we're looking at what's inside there. And there's a few like medical dramas, stuff like that might be of interest. I think Scrubs might be on there. House is on there. I think The Office is on there. But like, unless that's what you're looking to watch, you're not going to find like a library of exclusives like Netflix or Hulu that's going to make you want to go out of your way to subscribe for the service.
So just because you're so good and very popular, YouTube trying to take more money. Look, if we're being technical, we're not so good. We're a small YouTube channel, but I do take a lot of pride in the fact that we get a lot of shit right. I also take a lot of pride in that this community, no matter how big or small it is, when you got some arsehole coming in here trying to cause shit, everybody stands up for one another. That shit makes me proud. At the end of the day, though, YouTube, which is owned by Google, it's their platform. They get to choose how much they get from it. It's their platform. It's that simple. Just like when you guys go and sign up for our Patreon, which hopefully you guys will do, we get to choose the price points on it, you know? So in that respect, do I think it's, slimy what they're doing? Yeah, but they also have every right to do that. It is what it is at the end of the day. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre game coming out. This is what I heard for the longest time. So I heard there was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game in development, but I also heard there's a Halloween game in development. Now, the important thing to remember with games is more games that go in development don't get made than what actually come out. There's just like someone said the other day in the chat that, well, Halloween Ends is already in pre-production. It's safe. It's not. I'm not saying Halloween Kills is going to bomb, but if Halloween Kills bombs and opens up at like $16 million, North American and like 27 worldwide and only makes, 60 million or something on its run. Yeah, no, you're probably not getting Halloween Ends. That's just a fact. But the odds of that happening are slim to none. Movies that go in pre-production does not mean that they're guaranteed to come out. Games that go into pre-production are even less likely to come out. There are games that have been 85% done that never came out. Knights of the Old Republic 3, Star Wars Battlefront 3, The Force Unleashed 3.
85% done is a little generous, but over the years since those games, they have had like not
Star Wars 13,
gameplay videos and stuff. I think even in one case, like a playable demo just end up leaking onto the internet. So yeah,
Spider-Man 4 was absolutely a thing, and actually more footage of that just came out this week. You're going way back then, but lots of talk going on about rehauls, which is cool. I dig that. Dean at Phantom Empire with Halloween Kills making changes in the film, premiering at the Venice Festival, and the release date 10/15. When does the Well, sir, I'm pretty sure the marketing of the movie doesn't start until October 1st. Because that's such a great idea. Yeah. dude, no homo, but I love you. Happy belated birthday. How many Michael masks do I own? Technically one. I have a Halloween 6-1 sitting over there on a lamppost. The Halloween Kills one that we debuted is going to Toronto Freddy. And the one we are using with the Haddonfield Slayer and Haddonfield the Vanished will also go to Toronto Freddy when we're done filming those projects, which, by the way, we're about to get filming again. So that's exciting. That's exciting. Things are open enough where we can safely film. But still, there's obstacles that we have to come over. This is what happens when, not to get into this, but you get some people who are vaccinated, some people aren't, laws and renting places. And it's difficult to navigate for sure, especially up here. Where and when do you expect the premiere event for Halloween Kills to be held in the U.S.? Los Angeles, for sure. I would expect a red carpet for that movie. I don't know if it would be before Blumfest or after, but if they do it, then I would expect it there. That's an if they do it, though.
I was going to say, are they still doing something like that?
You need to remember that
like, who the fuck cares?
there wasn't a pandemic with 2018. These guys already know they're making significantly less money. And I know there was someone who came in the chat and said that this movie only has a $15 million marketing budget, which is complete and utter bullshit because they've already spent well over that. They might not do it. They might do it, but events like that cost money. It's up to Universal. I would say there's a 50-50 chance on it happening. I also think the fact that they already premiered in Venice and there's already so many people covering the movie that might just be the premiere.
I don't understand why you would do a U.S. premiere with what they did over in Venice. I just don't understand. I can't wrap my mind around it.
Nolan, I had Kills around the 45 million opening weekend mark. And I think now it's probably between 30 and 33. In the long run, I think I had Kills at like 130, 140 million worldwide at the end of its run. I'll say just over 100 now, but yeah. So there's the Feldman stuff, which I think, as Johnny iterated on this channel, you can't put too much stock into. But there's more than the Feldman stuff out there with Friday the 13th that suggests that it's at least not at the same place it used to be, and there might be some hope. But at the end of the day, everybody fights over money, right? Like, it is what it is. People are going to fight over money. Guys, we're going to go for 5 more minutes and get out of here. I got family time to get to. I'm going to try to answer the rest of these questions. If anybody wants their question definitely read, then send in a super chat, support the channel. Don't forget to sign up on Patreon. It's below, patreon.com/Fandom Empire. Choose a tier that benefits you. Again, it's not posted up there on Patreon, but if you want the Inside Fandom show, that's the $5 tier. Supernatural Revisited is available for all tiers. And when I say $5 tier, that doesn't mean that you can't sign up for Lampkin Lane and then not get Inside Fandom. You would get Lampkin Lane and everything else that's less expensive than that. Just like if you sign up for Fandom Addicts, which is the top tier, you get absolutely everything over there on Patreon. So Baltimore's in full capacity. Tommy, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Maryland's been open for, fully open for quite a while, so it's not surprising. I think there are very, very few things still in effect.
This is going to ruffle some feathers, I think, when I answer this question. But are you guys able to rent the whole theater up there? It's great if you can. Yes, that was our plan. Even had a deposit down. That will no longer be happening, though, because a certain number of the people that were going are unvaccinated. And as of September 22nd up here in Canada, you cannot eat in a restaurant, go to a movie theater, or go to a bar without proof of full vaccination, which killed about 40% of the people that were going, or canceled 40% of the people that were going to go see this movie with us. So that's their decision. I have no problem saying I'm fully vaccinated, and I really couldn't give a rat's ass what anybody else thinks about it. But yeah, that's the law up here as of September 22nd. You're not fully vaccinated, you're not going to a movie theater. It's that simple. And there are definitely people that wanted to see that movie a lot who are not. So It's the way it goes, and we're not going to pay substantially more for each ticket just to rent at the theater. That doesn't make any sense. Brooke says, I'm most excited for No Time to Die besides Halloween Kills. Don't give a flying fuck about Venom 2, to be honest. See a lot of people saying that, but I still think Venom 2 is going to do very well. By the way, Venom 2, only 90 minutes long.
90 minutes weird. Long. It's very, very weird.
Extremely weird. I'm stoked for No Time to Die. I can't wait for No Time to Die. Yes, 100% Inside Insane. Yeah, I hear you. Halloween Ends will have a lower budget to make up for the lackluster box office results of Kills. There's no way Blumhouse and Co. do not see the bad box office results coming. Well, I can tell you right now, Halloween Ends was already going to have a smaller budget than Halloween Kills. They made that very clear. The scale of the movie is much smaller than Halloween Kills. But yeah, it's probably going to get decreased even more. It's budget things. Not that I know all the shit about that, but that's just generally how those things work. Let's see. What do we else? I'm going to have to be selective here towards the end. Halloween Ends should release in theaters. Only Ends could possibly make more than Halloween Kills.
Not going to happen. Oh, yeah. Ends. Yeah, ends. Release just. We hope.
Well, I mean, some people have you believe now that Kills has gone to Peacock, you can't do just theaters for Ends, which logically makes no sense whatsoever. Is mayonnaise an instrument? No. Byron, we mentioned you earlier, buddy. I'm glad you had a really good time at that convention. Looked like Chris Nelson, James Jude Courtney, Nick Castle, Danielle Harris had a really fun time hanging out with you. I'm really happy that you got to go and experience that. That's awesome. Where did you guys manage to get the Halloween Kills posters? Tommy and I both did the same thing. We got high quality versions of it off the internet, went to Walmart, printed them ourselves, and framed them ourselves. So, yeah, fuck people. Fuck the secondary market on the asinine prices they want for a poster. Totally agree with that. What else do we have here as we get ready to get out? Here, Sam, since Kills is also going to stream, and do you think the second weekend of No Time to Die will make more money than Kills in its opening weekend? Worldwide, there's no doubt in my mind it brings in more money. Domestically, I think Kills will still edge it out. But it's not going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Anyways, that's going to do it. Don't forget, as we said, the new Fandom Empire schedule. It's coming your way very soon. Fandom Empire Live stays 9 p.m. Tuesdays, less pop-up streams. Fandom Empire now, after Halloween Kills comes out, will be spring 2022. The Rick and Morty Fan Show, TBD. Sounds like it might go to every other week. More pre-produced content for Patreons, House of the Empire debuting in November. For Patreon subscribers, Lampkin Lane 1 to 2 times a month. That's what the plan is. $13 tier over on Patreon. Inside Fandom and Fandom Cantina is the $5 tier over on Patreon. Rumors, scoops, reports, speculation, and news twice monthly. Supernatural Revisited is available for all tiers. Be sure to go check that out. And tonight on Lampkin Lane, Halloween Kills, What Has Changed? 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Can't wait to see all you guys over there. And we can take a deep dive into it because I assure you things have changed. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for it. Also, before we go here, I just wanted to say right now, and actually, I'm going to stop the music because we almost forgot to get to this, and that's my fault. The plan for Halloween Kills, as of now, I can tell you that Matt Whitfield will not be coming up here anymore. I believe the plan is, and we're all going to talk in sort of like a group chat here shortly. I believe Matt and Mike Bish are going to go see the movie together. And I and Tommy and Johnny and Kieran and spouses of that sort and a few other people are going to go see Halloween Kills up here in Canada. Toronto Freddy too, I believe, as long as he can make it. The Friday, you're going to have everyone under the sun coming out with their Halloween Kills reviews. Everybody's going to be on there. That's just the way it is. There's going to be no airtime, basically, because you're going to have every fucking channel doing it. So we're going to be troopers. We're going to probably have some late night food and have a blast with this. The original plan was once we got out of Halloween Kills is we would do a short non-spoiler review of the movie. Well, the plan has changed. Thursday, October the 14th, probably around 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, if you can stay up late and join us. We'll be answering everybody's super chats that they send in that night. We'll get to some normal Q&A too, but we're going to do a deep dive spoiler review on Halloween Kills. So if you're not seeing the movie till the 15th, you probably don't want to watch that stream. But for those of you that see it opening night and want to have a late Thursday night with us, that's when we're going to do our review. It's going to be a bunch of fun. So be sure to join us October 14th, close to midnight, maybe a little before. Halloween Kills spoiler review. It's going to be a ton of fun. Then we'll probably do just a pre-produced video for a non-spoiler review. But we're definitely looking forward to that. Bunch of fun. Matt and Mike will be together. Tommy, Kieran, Johnny, and myself will be together, and we'll break down the movie and how we see it and what we thought about it. And it'll be fresh, so recency bias will be in full attendance. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this one. Tommy, thanks for doing this, man.
Yep, totally love it. I'm looking forward to the future of the channel, all the projects we got in play, and especially Halloween Kills, because it is almost here. We are just a little bit over a month from release.
Did you get any Fright Rags shirts? The crazy thing is a $28 shirt on there works out to around $60 with the shipping. I'm aware, so the answer is yes. Very aware. They like to bend Canadians over. By the way, one more time, round of applause. The birthday boy, Dean Renner. Bonne fête à toi to Mr. Dean Renner. Happy birthday, buddy. I know it was yesterday, but still. And we can't wait to talk with you tonight. It's going to be a blast. Anyways, we'll see everybody tonight. Consider signing up for Lampkin Lane and come on in and join the fun tonight. And if you don't want Lampkin Lane, maybe sign up for a cheaper tier. But if you're all in on Fandom Empire, I would suggest Fandom Addicts or Fandom Maniacs if you want to support us on that level. We'll see you again. Don't forget, check us out. Patreon.com/Fandom Empire. Instagram's Fandom Empire Now. Facebook, the Fandom Empire Den. Halloween Fandom, which is run by our boy, Dean Renner in the chat. That's right, the belated birthday boy himself. Halloween Fandom, that group's been growing like crazy. Tommy, do you remember where that group used to be when it was just under a different name? It was dead in the water, and Dean has resurrected that group.
It's been hanging around different numbers. You know, as of yesterday or whatever, we're about 4K, a little bit over now probably, so it's growing.
Absolutely. Just thrilled. Anyways, tonight, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, Lampkin Lane. We'll see you then. Good day, everybody. Don't forget, the boogeyman is coming.